Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, woman among 4 arrested for illegal firearm. A woman was among 4 individuals arrested after the St. Andrews South Police seized an illegal firearm in Kingston on Sunday. The operation took place around 3:30 p.m. at a premises on Finch Crescent, Cockburn Gardens, Kingston 11. During the search of the property, law enforcement officers discovered a 9mm P80 pistol along with a magazine containing 18 rounds of ammunition inside the house. As a result, 3 men and 1 woman were taken into custody in connection with the firearm seizure. Their identities have not been revealed by the police. 18-year-old woman on the run after fatal stabbing in Manchester. An 18-year-old woman accused of fatally stabbing a 50-year-old man in Top Coffee Grove near Poros in Manchester on Saturday night remains on the run, even as threats have been made against her family in the now tense community. Police named the victim as Fitzroy Wilson, a farmer and resident of Top Coffee Grove. Police said about 8:32 p.m. Wilson was sitting outside a shop near his home when he was attacked and stabbed multiple times, allegedly by the woman. Police said the woman fled the scene. Wilson was pronounced dead at hospital. Police said the woman's family has since been threatened. Sources said the family fled their home in the area following the incident. Most schools reopened today, some delayed due to hurricane damage. The Ministry of Education has asserted that preparations have been made for today's start of the new school year, although some schools are expected to reopen at a later date. More than 200 schools were damaged during the hurricane, and as a result, the ministry has issued a number of private contracts to speed up repairs. Education Minister Favour Williams admitted that some schools will have to use temporary accommodation at churches and other facilities while the repairs are being carried out. Principals have been given the go-ahead to exercise flexibility with the reopening of their schools based on the severity of the damage. COVID deaths from 2021 just now being confirmed. With deaths that occurred in 2021 just now being confirmed as COVID-19 related, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is reporting that the delay was due to the thorough interrogation process, which takes place to determine if a death was linked to the virus. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness's weekly COVID-19 bulletin for this year, 8 deaths said to have occurred in 2021 were confirmed as COVID-19 related between July 30 and August 5, 2024. Meanwhile, an additional 15 deaths said to have occurred in 2021 were officially confirmed as COVID-19 related between August 6 and August 12, 2024. 3 deaths which occurred in either 2021 or 2022 were also confirmed between August 13 and 19 of this year. Sometimes what happens is that people die from complications of COVID, so it might be pneumonia, it might be other things, so it's just a matter of the length of time it has taken to interrogate the particular case. It's not intended to hide the information. Sometimes it might take a little long, but that's just how the process works, unfortunately, he told the news last week. Woman and 2 children make narrow escape from raging flood waters. Johns Hall resident Cathrola had to grab her 2 children and flee from her shop Saturday to escape dangerous flood waters that almost trapped her during a heavy downpour. It was terrible, and I was really afraid. It was God when we built the little retaining wall at the back, because if we didn't build it, all the shop gone, she said Sunday. There was water at this side, water in front, water at back. It wasn't anything good. And then seeing the danger, I put the babies on the counter, she related. She said the situation was not expected, and when she saw the usually stream-like flow of water rise above the gully and began using the road as a new water channel, she began to fear the worst. I took up my bag and my papers, my child's tablet, and put the children them on my shoulder, and quickly got out. I had said if anything I would open the window and let the water run through, but there was no time for that, she said. It was really terrible, she reiterated. Across the road, fellow shop operator Joseph Vaughns said while the water was threatening him and his livelihood, he was more concerned about the situation facing Cathrola and her children. I wasn't really fretting because I know it couldn't really trouble me. But over by the next shop, 2 little children were inside, and I was wondering to myself, I don't know how them going to manage because the water up at a high mark and the people them in the shop, he remarked. I was even thinking if they probably need a helicopter to get out, he said. But by that time the mother braved the floodwaters as she took the children to safe ground. Vaughns, who has been living in the community for more than 40 years, said this is the second time he has seen floodwaters behave in such a manner. Another resident, Warren Brooks, unfortunately had his motor car washed away by the floodwaters, even though he had taken precautions against such an occurrence. I moved it, and about 5 minutes after I saw water rising much higher. Then I see my car swimming down the road and I can't do a thing, he lamented. He said he had never encountered such a situation in the community, and having moved his car, he thought that would have been enough to prevent what he had feared. It come up already in the road, but I never witnessed it so high. That's why I moved the car from where it was, because I know that the water comes up there, and so I move it down a little bit more, where no water usually is, Brooks said. He told the news that at least 2 other cars were washed away during the flooding, but is hopeful his car will be able to work after a mechanic checks on it. During the course of the flooding, several areas of the road between Johns Hall and adjoining communities were left impassable because of landslides. Member of Parliament for St. James East Central, Edmund Bartlett, labeled the situation a disaster, given what transpired during the unusual weather event on Saturday, which damaged several community roads. The whole area can be described as a disaster zone, Bartlett said, as he expressed the concern about the impact on the livelihood of farmers in the area, as well as the effect on children when schools reopen today for the new school year. Bartlett, who visited the area on Saturday, said based on what he saw, he had started dialogue in getting the situation addressed. Those areas are in need of immediate attention, and I have already spoken to the Minister of Works in regards to that, and I am very confident that responses will be immediate and that alleviation, for sure, will be had for the areas that are affected, he remarked. During the night on Saturday and into the early morning on Sunday, heavy equipment from National Works Agency was deployed to clear the roadway. A second team from NWA was also deployed on Sunday to carry out cleanup activities in the community. Bartlett lauded the agency for their effort in making a number of roadways passable for residents seeking to reach various destinations. I must thank them for coming to clear some of the roadways last night so that there could be through passage for hundreds of commuters who are coming in from Montego Bay, heading to their homes in that area, and also heading as far as areas of St. Elizabeth, said Bartlett. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.